All right, what up, though? Welcome back to Detroit Sports Report. Let's go Lions, baby. All right, it's in the books. The Lions have recorded their second playoff win of the year. First time that's been done since the 1950s. So today we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about a couple big plays that stood out. We're going to say the good, bad, and the ugly about the game. And we're going to give a quick preview about the next game, Detroit versus San Francisco in the NFC Championship Game. Doesn't that sound beautiful? Yes, it does. And once again, I love the fake clap. All right, so let's break it down. Let's talk about the game real quick. It was a really good game. It was one of those games that in the first half, it was kind of slow. What was it, 10 at halftime? But the Lions, I think my biggest takeaway from this game was the Lions defense. The defense was getting to Baker Mayfield. They were getting to him early, had a couple big sacks. You know, it was great to see Hutch get in there. Aaron Glenn dialed up. Usually it's Iffy Melifonwu. Usually they're sending him on that corner blitz, but they sent was it Deion Branch this time, and he got a big sack with Hutchinson. So I just love seeing that aggressiveness with the defense because we do got to kind of scheme up some plays because we're still waiting on that other edge rusher. Even though Hutch has been getting to the quarterback, he's been getting pressures, getting sacks. I mean, he's had multiple sacks for 3 games straight coming into this game. So he's really been doing his thing. So shout out to Hutch for that. So yeah, the defense was impressive. And, you know, they're going to always talk about how we give up a lot of yards. And we do. We give up a lot of yards to the receivers. We've had a couple receivers go over 200 yards. Last week, Puka Nacua had 187 yards or something like that. And yesterday, Mike Evans had 147 yards. So we do give up a lot of yards. But now understand this, though. While we may give up a lot of yards, but when this game when the winner and loser is determined on how many yards the receivers got, then you can come talk to me. But until then, it's about the points scored. And while we may bend, but we don't break, because they might get a lot of yards in between the 20s, from the 20 to the 20. But once they get to that red zone, our defense shows up and we make plays. Just like last week, we held the Rams in all 3 of their red zone appearances. We held them to 3 points. They didn't score a touchdown not one time once they reached the red zone. So we do come up with the play when it really needs to be made. So there's, we got to give the Detroit Lions credit for that. And, you can have all the receiving yards you want, but as long as we stop you from getting in that end zone, that's the key. And that's what this defense has been doing. So, and a lot of the major media, ESPNs and the Fox Sports News, they're not going to give us a chance against San Francisco because of that reason. They're going to remember all these receivers who have got a lot of yards on us. But like I said, once our defense can step up and get them big stops, the yards are, they're not that important. So that's just my takeaway on the defensive side of the ball. And we had 2 interceptions as well. We had one early in the game. We got an interception on Baker Mayfield. And then, of course, the game-sealing interception by Derek Barnes, which was a great play by, one of our linebackers. That's a play you expect a cornerback to make. You expect, Iffy to come up with that. Deion Branch, CJ, Kirby Joseph. But for our linebacker to step up and make that play, get the right read on that play and make it, shout out to Derek Barnes for sealing that up for us. So, all right, I want to talk about a couple of these plays, too, that stood out to me on the offensive side of the ball. One of them was Jahmyr Gibbs. Why? All these doubters want to talk about who we took in the first round. We took a running back in the first round. Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, boy, look at Jahmyr Gibbs now. There's a lot of teams out there that wish they had 26 on their team right now. Because that way, he just looks so explosive. That play when he got the ball and then he bounced it out and ran it, bounced it to the outside, ran for the touchdown. That speed is just different, man. And he kind of reminds me of, like, if you ever been to, like, your little brother's little, youth football game or your son's youth football game. Me, I used to go to my nephew's little youth football games. And there was always that one little kid, you would see him out there running, and you'd be like, damn, that guy's a little bigger, faster, stronger than, he just looks different. That guy's way faster than everybody else. There was always that one little kid out there that was just outrunning everybody. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks like that guy. I'm not going to call him a kid, but he looks like that guy out there on the field. And the guy who missed the tackle, understand this, that's an all-pro corner right there. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. He may look like that. He's an all-pro. He's one of the best at his position in the whole league. And Jahmyr Gibbs just bounced it on him, and there's no catching him. So Jahmyr Gibbs is explosive. I'm glad we got him. I'm glad we drafted him. No matter where we drafted him, he's a Detroit Lion, and he showed up again for us, just like he did in the last game. So he had 74 yards and a touchdown in this game. And just to go over a couple quick stats. Jared Goff had 287 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns. I just mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs, 74 yards and a touchdown, and that's on 9 carries. He's averaging like over 8 yards a carry. I mean, that's a great runner right there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, he did his thing, 8 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. And Sam Laporta had 9 catches for 65 yards, so he was key. And it's good to see him out on the field healthy. So that's big. Then on the other side, we had Baker Mayfield. He had 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. Credit to Baker. He played a great game. He was out there dealing. He made a couple big plays. So he showed up. And matter of fact, I want to give Tampa Bay credit. This wasn't a team that just didn't belong. They had a really good season. They were a solid team all year. Sometimes they would play a great game and then follow it up with like a dud. But they did enough to get there, and they belong there. And they showed yesterday because they did play a really good game. Mike Evans had 8 catches, 147 yards and a touchdown. And matter of fact, talking about plays to stand out, Baker Mayfield, a throw that he made to Michael Evans, the one that went up the left side, that deep ball, and Michael Evans like slid and dove on the ground and went down and got it on the ground. Man, that was a great throw and a great catch by Michael Evans. So they made some really good plays. The Baker Mayfield one where Detroit was rushing and it looked like we were about to get the sack on him, and Baker Mayfield kind of just bounced off the tackle, came over to the side, readjusted, got his footing, and just threw a straight dart to the sidelines. I mean, when I first saw it live, I'm like, oh no, that thing's out of bounds. He didn't catch it. But boy, they showed that replay, and Baker put that ball perfectly in. I forgot who the receiver was, but he caught that thing, got 2 feet in, and made a great catch. So Baker was making some really, really great plays throughout this game, and you could tell they really wanted it, and they showed up. They were prepared, they were focused, and they showed up. But at the end of the day, the better team won. The Lions were the better team. They made the plays when they really needed to be made. The fourth quarter, 3rd and 15. Detroit's driving. It's 3rd and 15. You don't convert 3rd and 15s in this league. You know what I mean? That's a hard down to convert. But man, I tell you, 3rd down, I got a new name. I got a new name for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to start calling him 3rd down St. Brown, baby. Because when it's 3rd down, I don't care if it's 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, or 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. Jared Goff drops back, and he's going to find his guy. And credit to St. Brown, because that's what he does on 3rd down. He just gets open. He did a little comeback route. Goff put it right there on him, right where it needed to be. He caught that and got the 1st down, and they converted that. So that was huge. That was huge because they kept that drive alive, and they ended up going down to score a touchdown. I believe that was their 3rd straight possession, as they scored 3 straight touchdowns in the second half. So, like I said, the first half, it was tight, 10-10 at halftime, kind of slower, but then Detroit, they just turned it up in the second half when it needed to be turned up, and they made the big plays in the big-time moments. And talk about big-time moments. I mentioned it, but we're going to talk about it again. Tampa Bay comes, they score the touchdown. They don't convert the 2-point conversion, but they stop Detroit. They get the ball back. And now Baker has a chance to drive down the field and get a touchdown, possibly 2-point conversion, tie this game up. And once again, our defense comes up with the big play at the right time in the most crucial moments. So you can say what you want about this defense, but as long as they continue to make the big plays in the big moments, that's all I'm going to ask for. And Derek Barnes did that. Just like last week against Stafford. Fourth quarter, we had to get the big stop. And Stafford was moving that ball all day. But in the fourth quarter, when they had the ball with a chance to come down and take the lead, our defense showed up. Our defense made the play. They came up with the big stop. So I don't care what ESPN and Fox Sports 1 and all these guys are going to say about our defense all week coming up, leading up to this San Francisco game. We know what we see. Most of the times, these guys, they just watch a few highlights of the game and they try to form an opinion. We're watching every second, every minute of these games. So we see the bend but don't break approach our defense has. And we see that our defense has been making plays. They've been playing a lot better these last several weeks, especially now that they got into the playoffs. And they've been playing. They've been stepping up. They've been solid. And I understand we had some bad games where we wet the bed against Baltimore, where we didn't look good against Green Bay, against Chicago. And we went through like a 3-4 game stretch where it just seemed to me like the team had lost focus. I think they were kind of just really feeling themselves. They jump out to a 5-1, 6-1 record. And I think they just kind of felt themselves and they just kind of lost a little focus, felt like all they had to do was really just show up and we can beat anybody. But it's the NFL. And when we went through that bad stretch, I think that was actually a good thing for them. But when you have a great coach at the helm, a guy who's a good leader of men, which we have, Dan Campbell, he got them guys together. He got them guys back refocused. And we can't, and he let them know, like, we can't lose focus here. We can't just show up and think we're going to win games. We got a lot of talent, but we got to practice hard. We got to play hard. We got to be hungry. Got to stay focused. And we got to go out here and play. And after that little slide we had, we started playing a lot better. And then going into the playoffs, we started playing some of our best football. Now in the playoffs, we're playing some of our best football. And that's the key. That's the name of this game. It's about the team that gets hot and starts playing their best football when these playoffs get here. And this is what we've been doing. So for anybody who's going to think that we don't have a chance to beat San Francisco, listen, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I think we have a great shot. And it sounds crazy. It sounds surreal to say. All we got to do is win one more game to reach a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And San Francisco is a really good team. And we're going to obviously talk about this, going into this week. We're going to really break down the matchups. And, I'm going to come back with another video and talk about the matchups and the keys to the game and see what our strengths are against their strengths and our weaknesses and their weaknesses. And we'll break it all down. But as of right now, listen, I like our shot. I like our chance. I love the way we're playing right now. Our offense is clicking. Defense is playing a lot better. And also, I want to give a shout out, give a game ball to all you guys out there, all the fans that showed up to the game. Because this crowd this crowd is crazy. You fans are bananas, and it's beautiful to see you guys show up and just rock the house, rock the building. And I didn't get to go to the game, unfortunately, but just watching it on TV, just the look of it, everybody waving the white, the white flags, and the crowd looks great. They were loud. We reached like 133 decibels last game or something like that. I mean, so shout out to all my fans that showed up to the game, man. Game ball to you guys. And a matter of fact, Dan Campbell last week even said it in the interview. He said, the fans helped us win this game. That's huge. Have you ever heard a coach say, the fans helped us win a game? Yeah, they say, fans are great. We love our fans. We got the best fans in the world. But he said the fans helped us win this game. That's big. So like I said, shout out to all the fans who showed up and showed out. That's beautiful, man. And they did it again yesterday. And just think, if Green Bay would have beat San Francisco, we'd be playing another playoff game for the NFC Championship in Detroit. That would have been great. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. It's not. We're going to San Francisco. Going to be good weather. Going to be good weather conditions. It's not going to be cold and snow, so we're not going to be worried about our quarterback not being able to handle it. Jared Goff is from California, went to Cal. He knows what to do out there. So, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Like I said, we're going to make a video and talk about the 49ers matchup. Right now, we're just, talking about our 31-23 victory over the Bucs. And what is real quick, I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, another play I just want to talk about real quick. Penei Sewell, man, we're gonna give him a shout out because he's obviously one of the best of his positions in the game, if not the best. I mean, he had one block where he came from the right side of the line, ran over here and just completely put a guy on his back for Gibbs to get a first down. And I just love seeing that effort, that hustle from Penei. And he just has that mentality. It's just like, yo, we're better than you, we're stronger, we're tougher, and we're gonna block the shit out you guys. And that's why that's our secret sauce. That's our key. I think that's our biggest strength. Well, we got a lot of strengths. We got a really good quarterback who's poised, who delivers it to our playmakers. We got great receivers, got a great tight end, got great running backs, got a great defensive lineman, our defensive end, got a lot of good defensive pieces. But that offensive line, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Penei Sewell, these guys, that's our secret sauce. We got the best offensive line in the playoffs right now. Out of the 4 teams left, we got the best offensive line. Period, hands down. And when you have that, when your trenches are strong like that, if our defensive line was as strong as our offensive line, oh my God, forget about it. But it is what it is. Our offensive line, San Francisco, they're going to have a lot to deal with. So when we have that offensive line, that's one of our biggest strengths, if not our biggest strength, that's how you win games in the trenches, man. So once again, those trenches showed up yesterday. They protected Goff. They blocked for our runners. Like I said, Jahmyr Gibbs averaged 8 yards a carry. So, so I just wanted to, point out that play by Sewell too, because that was just a big play that really stood out to me. So, like I said, Detroit got the win. It was great. Our fans is going to love this. We're going to enjoy this. We're going to the NFC Championship game. Hasn't been done since 91. I believe back then we only had to win 1 game to get there at that time. I do believe. But so this time we had to win 2 playoff games to get there. So this is even more sweeter. And we got a great team that has a chance to get to the Super Bowl. You hear what Dan Campbell said? He said we got 2 more games to win with a bye in the middle. So what we got to do is beat San Francisco. Then we get a bye. Let guys get fresh and rested up, and then go out there and ball out in the Super Bowl and try to bring this thing home. Anything is possible. So let's go, Detroit. All right, all my Lions fans, man, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share, subscribe, leave a comment. All these things are great and important for the algorithm. You already know that. So let's get this thing popping. And let me know in the comments, though, matter of fact, who do you think was the key to this game? Who made the biggest plays? Who do you think was like the player of the game and all that? Tell me why do you think Detroit has a chance to beat San Francisco, man? Let's talk about it. And I'll be back with another video to break down the Detroit versus 49ers NFC Championship game, baby. Let's go Lions. All right, y'all. Peace and love. We out.